Welcome to today's Bending Reality. Woohoo! Bahavani! We've got Bahavani, we've got Leah, we've got Caroline, Aliza, Jen, Milla, Joanna. Oh, yes, Divya. Awesome. I love it. Divya's on. Claudia. Hi, Claudia. Vince, Heather, Silk. Welcome to day 2. Divya, hi, there you are. You look phenomenal. Welcome to day 2 Masterclass. Joanne says hi. Joanna says hi. Type in the comments. What did you experience? What showed up? What shifts did you have after yesterday's practice? Type it in the comments. We had an awesome share from somebody in the Facebook group. Just an absolutely amazing share. If you have not joined our Facebook group, join the Facebook group after this. It's in the welcome email, and it's also in the last email that I sent out. And let's see what showed up. Claudia says, hi, everyone, from an evening in Austria. Yes, beautiful. Leah says, hello. Joanna, if you missed it, that's okay. You can go back and watch the replay. So if you missed yesterday, that's okay. Watch the replay after today. Super high brain and heart coherence in session yesterday. Thank you. You're welcome. That's from Aliza. So yesterday was a lot of mindset, a lot of belief. And I wanted you to really feel something yesterday. And I wanted to raise your belief in you and you. Because whatever you believe in intensely with your mind will instantly come to manifest. And that's Yogananda. That's a quote from Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda. Whatever you intensely believe with your mind will instantly come to pass, will instantly come to manifest. So this is about believing in yourself, setting a strong intention to show up, to do the work, whatever it takes, going all in on you, going all in on your heart's desires. If you show up consistently, if you show up persistently, if you show up sincere in your efforts, can I open my heart a little bit more? Can I be more vulnerable? Can I be more authentic with myself? Can I be more real with myself? Am I sincerely doing the practices, or am I doing the practices to just check them off the list to say that I did it? Am I sincere in my efforts? Am I continuously knocking on that door, knocking on that door, knocking on that door, knocking on that door? That door is going to swing wide open. That door is going to swing wide open. I've seen it over 100 times, and I've seen things that are just absolutely mind-blowing, that miraculous, mind-blowing. It shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. The person shouldn't have healed from this disease, this illness. Not only did they heal, they're swimming, they're doing hikes, they're doing trips. I had one client that I worked with for a very long time, almost 2 years, and she had a condition where she had to use a cane, and she couldn't do hikes or go out in nature. She had to use a cane, and the doctor said, you're never gonna get rid of that cane, so get used to it. Sure enough, she's now hiking all around the west of the USA. She's actually getting ready to move. She's moving to Phoenix, Arizona. There's lots of hiking here, so much nature in Phoenix. And she's having the time of her life and enjoying herself and loving every moment of it and feeling free and going for the walks and the hikes and breathing the fresh air and being energized. And she's just going like this, up, 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 not only in her health, but in every other area of her life as well. Because everything gets to get better. Everything gets to get better when you get better. When you get better with who you're being. With who you're being. Type it in the chat if that's landing. Type it in the chat. Yesterday's class felt so good. Thank you for sharing, Milla. I could hold the energy all day today. Yes, till a critical meeting. How can I bend situations like these to have a truly amazing overflowing situation? Yes, that's a great question about triggers. And we will be going into that today. Yes, it's landing. Awesome, Leah. Leah has so many exciting things showing up. So many exciting things show. I could do a whole masterclass on what Leah has showing up in her reality from this work. Leah, if you want to share, feel free to share. If not, don't share. If you want to keep it, keep it. But she has thing after thing after experience after experience after experience. She has so much exciting things showing up from this work. We've been working together for quite some time now, and we've been having an absolute blast. 111%. Yes. Yes, it really is. I love it. I love it. Yes, congratulations, Leah. People are Elisa's congratulating you. So let's really get into the strategy, if there's a strategy to this, which there is. And by the way, there's no right or wrong way to do this. There's infinite ways to do this. There's infinite ways to realize the self. There's infinite ways to do it. So when I say strategy, I don't want to box you in or limit you. I'm going to give you we're going to look at a foundation today, a framework on how to get the most out of your presence practice, your meditation practice, your bending reality practice. Now, if you missed yesterday, go maybe even pause this, and if you're on live now, stay live. But if you're watching the replay, I would recommend pausing this and going back to the first one. That was a very activating, mindset, energetic session. The only thing that keeps you from doing the strategy, the work, staying present, the things that we shared about yesterday, holding the feeling of the wish fulfilled with eyes open, being that person, being that embodiment of self, having faith, surrendering, letting go to the feeling of the wish fulfilled with eyes open, not breaking your energy, not disconnecting from that intention. It's belief. It's belief. There's a part of you that doesn't believe that it's going to show up, that doesn't believe it's going to work, that doesn't believe it's going to happen. That part of you is the past self, the mind-made concept of self, the ego. It's the ego. And one of the reasons, well, the main reason why you came here, the planet Earth, is to dissolve the ego, is to transcend the ego, is to dissolve the past self, is to live free of the ego, to have the ego serve you. So to have your heart lead you and guide you, in the ego, the past self, the analytical mind, the chatter, is the servant to the heart. Type in the chat if you've heard that. If you've heard you came here to dissolve or transcend the ego, you came here to raise your consciousness by having these ego deaths, by releasing past versions of self. Type that in the comments if that makes sense. So you can watch the replay in the email. I sent out the email, and I'll send out another one after today's session. Yeah, came here to dissolve our karma. Yes. So karma is just taking the past, laying it on the present, and then that becomes the future. That's karma. And that can show up with ancestral karma. So I'm literally just living like my dad. I've become my dad. I've become my mom. And that I realized that when I was 40 pounds overweight, had chronic disease, chronic pain, in physical therapy, 3 different addictions. I realized that, oh, wow, I've become my dad. That's a great example of karma. That's a great example of karma. So taking ancestral or mom, dad, parent, caretaker, taking on their stuff and just repeating it. And then you pass it on to your kids, you pass it on to the next generation, and then they repeat it, and then they repeat it. And that's a great example of karma. So yeah, so it's breaking karma. Another great example of karma is, okay, I'm going to no longer be angry at my coworkers. Whenever I'm sharing a story, it's always my own, usually my own personal story. So I remember saying, okay, I'm no longer going to show up being angry at my coworkers. I'm going to have a great attitude, even though I don't want to be there. I don't like these coworkers. And I just would go unconscious and I would just be angry at the coworkers. It was a reaction. It was a reaction. It was not a response. I had lost that ability to respond and I was just reacting. I was reacting. Karma, that's a great example of karma when you're literally being the same person as yesterday, even though the intention was to be a different person in this moment. So it's taking the past, laying it on the present, and then that becomes the predictable future. That's karma. So in order for us to transcend the past self, to dissolve the past self, dissolve the ego, the first thing is you've got to believe in yourself. It's a lot of mindset here, and you're going to have to use your free will and decide. You're going to have to there has to be some point where you decide, that's it. I'm crossing that river of change. I'm sitting my body down. I'm doing the meditations. I'm staying awake. I'm staying conscious throughout my waking day. I'm not going to fall back asleep. I'm not going to go unconscious. If I do go unconscious, I'm going to catch it. And I'm going to use that as my trigger to excuse myself and go do the work. So simple. It's so simple. It's so easy. Like Neville Goddard says, it's holding the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Let me know if you've heard that in the comments. How many people read Neville Goddard, follow Neville Goddard? Holding the feeling of the wish fulfilled, staying in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Very, very simple. He's not saying anything complicated. He's not saying anything that sounds hard. Very simple. So why is it that people can't do it or don't do it or won't do it or try, but then they quit? Or there's all these different scenarios. It's not working for me. I don't believe I tried it, but it didn't work. What is all of that? What is all that? It's a belief. It's a belief in yourself, a belief in yourself. And what you believe about yourself is what you believe about the universe, is what you believe about reality. If I deeply, deeply, deeply trust myself, so if I say I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to sit down and do this practice, or I'm going to stay present throughout my day, and I'm going to hold that frequency, I'm going to be in peace, I'm going to be in joy, I'm going to be in love, I'm going to be in gratitude. Doesn't mean I don't set boundaries, doesn't mean I just let people walk all over me, doesn't mean I don't express my emotions or feel emotions. It means that I'm present with whatever is arising in the moment. And I use discernment and I use self-leadership to navigate through what is arising in the moment. So I'm using discernment, I'm using self-leadership to navigate. I'm allowing my heart brain. Remember what we talked about last session? Your heart is a brain. It has neurites, which are like neurons. It makes choices, decisions. It thinks. It holds memory. 100,000 times stronger electrically, 5,000 times stronger magnetically, over 60,000 more connections heart to brain than brain to heart. You're meant to be in your heart. The analytical mind, the ego, is meant to follow the heart. It's meant to serve the heart. So all of us must stay in our heart, and we must use self-leadership, discernment, navigating in each moment, the intuitions, the pings, the nudges, and breadcrumb by breadcrumb, nudge by nudge, intuition by intuition, staying present. That's what we did yesterday. That was the main practice of yesterday. The main exercise of yesterday was presence practice. We went through a specific breath. I explained the science behind it, why it works, why it's going to literally magnetize the thing that you want to you. Explain the science behind that. You doing that, staying consistent, persistent, sincere, that's what allows you to see and witness your wish fulfilled. Your wish fulfilled. So if it's really all about self-belief and self-trust and leading myself, I go first and then the universe follows, using discernment, what is for me, what is not for me, not just following the masses, not just doing a meditation that millions of people are doing a meditation to say that you did the meditation, to check it off the list, and this guru said I should do this meditation. None of that. This is about you becoming the master of you. You becoming your own master. You leading yourself, using discernment, developing stronger self-trust, developing strong resiliency, going deeper into gratitude, going deeper into appreciation, going deeper into self-love, truly loving yourself, seeing yourself for all of who you are, and loving all of you, including the shadow aspect of self. And when we do that, when you go deep, when you follow these values, when you develop these, when you embody these values, and you start to build that self-belief and you start to see things show up, oh, okay, there's the text message I've been waiting for. There's the phone call. There's the invitation. There's the 10 pounds lost. There's the energy coming back to my body. There is the clearing of the skin rash, the clearing of the pain in my back. Oh, okay, now I can go to the gym and lift weights again. Now I can lift heavy again. Now I can go for a run and not be in excruciating pain and feel proud of myself and feel confident and feel energized and look forward to it, not dread it, but look forward to it. That's when you start naturally embodying the work. Your life becomes the walking, talking, moving meditation because you're falling in love. You're going deeper into the self and you're falling in love with each moment of the process. You're falling in love with each moment of the journey and you're falling in love. I know it sounds corny. I know we've heard it a million times. You're falling in love with yourself sincerely. Sincerely. You're being more vulnerable with yourself. You're being more intimate with yourself. Intimacy. These are the values that allow you to naturally go into brain and heart coherence, to naturally go into presence, to naturally, you want to sit down and do the meditation. You look forward to the meditation. You want to open your heart more. You want to get more connected with yourself, be more intimate with yourself. And when you become the work, when you embody the work, and it's just who you are, it's just who you are. You just are the Neville Goddard. That's just who you are. You're using your imagination and you're doing all the things and you're staying present and you're doing the meditations. The strategy is easy. It's fun. It's exciting. Just like the gym. Everybody here knows how to go to the gym. I guarantee it. Everybody here knows how to lift some weights, knows how to use the machines, knows how to do some things at the gym, but not everybody goes to the gym. Not everybody does the workouts. Might go for a little bit, but then they fall off. Might lose 5 pounds, but then they gain the 5 pounds back because they reverted back to the past self. They reverted back to safety, security, the past self, the known. The ego has come in. The ego has come back. Type it in the chat if this is all landing. Type it in the chat. Are there any aha moments coming through? What's coming through? What's landing? Type it in the chat. Yes, becoming your own master. Yes. Thank you for sharing, Leah. Discernment and self-leadership. I love this. Thank you for sharing, Eliza. So I wanted, before we get into the strategy, and people usually glaze over when we get into the strategy, just like the workouts, right? Just like the gym. It's like, okay, you're going to do 3 sets of squats. You're going to do it 12 times. Then you're going to go over here and do these push-ups. Then you're going to go do these burpees. You're going to go do the, and it's just like, woo. So before we get into the strategy, I want to really activate you. I want to have this really resonate with you because I want you to show up and do this work with excitement. I want you to be excited to do this work. I want you to be energized. I want you to like run to that meditation, like run to it in the morning and be like, yes, like I'm here. Like, here we go. I'm spending time with the universe. I'm connecting, I'm communing. I feel something. I sense something. I have a high frequency running through my body. And then I'm going to lay a crystal clear intention on that energy. And it's that process. It's 2 steps. It's 2 things that have been shown by science to manipulate reality, to change reality. And it's a crystal clear intention and it's an elevated emotion. And you marry those 2 together and reality changes. Reality manipulates, it changes. Let me know if you've heard this in the comments. Who has heard of this study before? Ego is the obstacle. Yes, that's it. Yes, thank you, Kimberly, for sharing. Yeah, it's the past self, the ego, the mind-made self, the analytical mind, the chatter. That is the only, so it's you versus you, right? We've all heard that. It's you versus you. That is your only, if there is an obstacle, I would say that I don't know if obstacle is the right word. If there's something to elevate, to transcend, to raise above, it is the past self. It is the past self way of thinking, feeling, acting, behaving. So we're elevating, we're raising our consciousness to your higher self, to you're merging with your higher self. Your higher self is pulling you and calling you towards it. That's why you have a heart's desire. That's why you want to heal your body. That's why you want to be in the best shape of your life. That's why you want to get married. That's why you want to have kids. That's why you want to attract your specific person. That's why you want to have your purpose work and be making 5-figure months in your purpose work and having the time of your life, traveling the world while doing your purpose. That's why you want these things. That's why you desire these things, is to call you, to pull you to a higher version of self. Everything really makes sense, Andrea. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Bhavani. So let's get into it. It's very simple. It's very simple. And this is where most people just glaze over because it's so simple. It's so easy. It's the crystal clear intention combined with the elevated emotion. There's a great study on this that I recommend checking out. It's a study of a biologist, and he took a group of healers. They took a DNA strand, and they placed the DNA strand at a remote location. They took the healers, placed them in a, put them together, and they said, we want you, group of healers, to unwind that DNA using a vision. So we want you to visualize that DNA unwinding. So the group of healers said, okay. So they sat and they went into a meditation and they visualized that DNA unwinding. They visualized. They took the DNA, looked at the DNA. What do you think happened to the DNA? Nothing. Nothing happened to the DNA. It stayed the same. So then they said, okay, we want you to feel gratitude for the DNA already being unwound. I want you to sit, feel gratitude. It's already done. It's already unwound. So the group of healers, they sit and they go into their meditation and they feel that gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. They feel it, gratitude. They take the DNA, look at the DNA. Guess what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. Now they said, okay, we want you to take a vision, an intention. We want you to use your imagination. And we want you to feel gratitude at the exact same time for the DNA being unwound. So they went back into meditation and they visualized, they used their imagination, and they were feeling gratitude. They were feeling appreciation. They were feeling very elevated emotions at the exact same time they were letting their imagination go wild. It's unwinding, it's unwinding. They're celebrating gratitude, appreciation. They look at the DNA. Guess what happened? The DNA unwound by over 20%. Over 20%. Imagine the possibilities with what I'm sharing with you, with this masterclass. Imagine the possibilities of you doing the work, not only doing the work, but becoming a master at the work, refining the work, refinement, mastery, getting so good at what I'm sharing, knowing how to alter your brainwaves, being able to alter your brainwaves like that, 3 breaths and you're there, knowing how to hold a vision, hold an imagination and not get distracted and bombarded. Oh my gosh, how did I go from imagining to what's my boss think of me? How did that happen? None of that. Imagine if you became so good at this, you became so practiced, and you applied it to anything and everything that you wanted to bend, change in your life. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine not having to work 40 hours a week in a job that doesn't fulfill you, being able to do your purpose work, show up, make over, have 5-figure cash months doing what you love, not having to work hard, not having to work hard, not having to grind, not having to put in all these hours. Imagine that. How freeing does that feel? How good does that feel? Does that feel more like your authentic self? Let me know. Does that feel more like your authentic self? Type it in the chat. Or does it feel like more, is working at a job you don't like, or having your business feel heavy, or not really enjoying what you love? It's heavy. It's hard work. It's hard work. Does that sound like your authentic self? Does that sound authentic? Does that sound like who you really are? No, that's not who you really are. You are having fun. That's it. Leah says I'm fun in my authentic self. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Leah she's blowing it up over there. So many things. You're having fun. You're having the time of your life. You've released the belief, I have to work hard to make money. I have to grind. I have to. There's so many. For me, there was so many subconscious beliefs here. There was so many. There was subconscious belief after subconscious belief after, and I'm still unraveling and becoming aware of subconscious beliefs. We have over 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Over 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. We're only 5. It's actually, scientists are now saying it's less than 5% that we are conscious. So we're 5%, less than 5% conscious, 95% subconscious. And it's the subconscious mind body that's creating reality. So you see why you must fall in love with the journey. You must fall in love with the work, because it's never ending. You're going to be in this work, doing this work until the day you leave this planet. It's never ending because there's always another higher version of you. There's always another more loving version of you, a more confident version of you, a more courageous version of you, a more at peace version of you, more bold in your truth, in your authenticity, serving more people, giving your gift to more people, more money, more abundance. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. So it's a crystal clear intention combined with an elevated emotion. Very simple. And I'm sure you probably have heard that before. Now, let's look at that study. If you are doing this practice, which you are, you're going to do this practice now 3 times a day. I recommend doing it 3 times a day. You can do it for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 times a day. Now, if you want to do it longer, I recommend, of course, do it longer. You go 40 minutes, go an hour, go an hour and a half. I do 40 minutes of this specific exercise in the morning. That's what I do. Now, in the very beginning, when I was 40 pounds overweight, chronic disease, 3 different addictions, I was on the verge of a heart attack. My cholesterol was through the roof. I was also going through a breakup. There was just so much. I was really in a crisis. So at that point in my life, using discernment, using self-leadership, following my heart, allowing my heart brain to lead me 3 times a day. That's what was coming through for me 3 times a day. So I would sit and I would do this 3 times a day. And I really practiced refinement. I practiced mastery. I just hired another coach. I invest in myself. I just hired another coach to go even higher in my emotional intelligence, in my mindset, in my consciousness, how I'm thinking, how I'm leading myself. What am I imagining for myself? What's the next version of Andrea that I want to witness in this time, space, reality? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does my brand look like? What does my brand feel like? What does my content say? What is my messaging? I just hired a coach and I'm going to join her high level mastermind. So I'm very much in the journey with you. I'm right here in the journey. It's never ending. It's constant evolution and expansion over a lifetime. Constant evolution and expansion over a lifetime. So it was for me 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And it was holding that crystal clear intent. So it was, first you've got to get into an alpha, theta, gamma. Really, gamma is where you really manipulate reality, bend reality, because when you're in gamma, so it goes beta, alpha, theta, and then gamma. And so gamma is actually on top of beta. Gamma is faster, much faster than beta. This is the brainwave. So it's beta and gamma's like much, much faster. But it's not anxiousness. It's not fight or flight. It's not thought to thought to thought to thought. I got to get as much done as I can. I got to think about. It's not that. It's an ecstasy. It's a bliss. It's the brain and heart orgasm. Who here has heard about the brain and heart orgasm? Type it in the chat if you've heard about the brain and heart orgasm. Bruce Lipton talks a lot about the brain and heart orgasm. Greg Braden talks a lot about the brain and heart orgasm. The Heart Math Institute, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Type it in the chat if you've heard about the brain and heart orgasms. Okay, yes. Leah has heard about it. Yes. Yes, fun is my authentic self. I love that. I love that, Leah. Yes. So it's basically a rise in the energy from the first energy center. There's a lot of energy in your first energy center. That root chakra, that root energy center, that's where you make a baby. Let's just observe that for a moment. You literally birth another human into existence with that energy. It's a ton of energy in that first energy center, the root chakra. And you can draw this energy up with breath work. You can draw it up, staying present with breath work. Different types of breath works, different types of presence practices, different movements. You can draw it up through different movements while using the breath as you move. And once that energy hits the heart and you work with it, you're going to work with it. It's like a push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. And I go in depth in my trainings with this. And we really dive into this and get into the details here because it's a practice. It's a practice. And you can get good at it, just like you can get good at driving a car, just like you can get good at riding a bike. It's the exact same thing. It's just a practice. And you can start getting this energy to the heart. And once this energy hits the heart, it immediately goes to your brain. And it's so much energy that's going to the heart, to the brain, that the brain goes into what's called gamma brain waves. And you start having what they call the brain and heart orgasm, Kundalini awakening. You start raising your Kundalini, however you want to say it. And the monks, the Tibetan monks, call this the unifying wave, the unifying brainwave. That's what the Tibetan monks call it. Now, these Tibetan monks, these mystics, do things that are miraculous, do things that are unexplainable to Western medicine. They do things like change their body temperature on command. They control their heart rate. We've all heard of the monks levitating. We've all heard those stories. That stuff is real. That exists. And there's a great book on these stories that I recommend everybody read. Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda. Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda. There's story after story after story after story, and it really helps with belief to hear these stories. So this brainwave, it's the unifying wave. It unifies you. It connects you to everything, everywhere, all at once. That's what this brainwave does. It's Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda. If somebody can type that in there for Claudia, that would be awesome. Okay, if you're getting dizzy when you're doing it, it's because there's something not right. Okay, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. You want to challenge and stretch yourself, but you don't want to hurt yourself. Just like the gym. You want to lift that dumbbell, but you don't want to go too heavy because you'll pull your muscle. It's just like the gym. This brainwave, you're connected. You're unified. They also call it the sweeping wave. The sweeping wave. It sweeps throughout the entire brain, and you're super conscious. You're super conscious. And this, from this place, from this super consciousness, from this feeling place, okay, what's the secret? What does Neville Goddard say is the secret? From this feeling place, from this feeling, that's the key word. You'll know you're there from how you feel. It's the feeling. The feeling is the secret. You'll know you're there from how you feel. From this feeling, you're going to lay that thought, lay that intention, that crystal clear intention on that wave of energy. There's a wave of, there's a field around the heart. So we talked about brain and heart coherence yesterday, and how there's a field around the heart that scientists have measured up to 3 meters wide. And that field, there's waves there, and those waves carry out just like your Wi-Fi, just like the Wi-Fi. They go through your house, they go through walls, and you get the Wi-Fi on your device. Same thing. It's the same thing. The brain is electric. So the brain is electric. And just like the Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi, it's a light wave. So your Wi-Fi is a light wave. So you've got the tower, and the tower is sending this light wave throughout the ethers. And there's data that's piggybacking on that light wave. And your device is picking up that light wave with the data, and your computer is decoding the data. And now you're getting an image of me here on Zoom. You're getting an image of what you're Google searching. You're getting words pop up. You're getting a Google search. You're getting a movie. Is it possible to do the same thing with your body? Type it in the chat. Is it possible to do the same thing with your body? Type it in the chat. To do the same thing with your consciousness, to do the same thing with your electromagnetic field around your body? Is that possible? Type it in the chat if you believe that's possible. Yes, totally. Yes. Leah says yes. Caroline says totally. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. 100%. Yes, we have many states of being. Yes. I love how Jose Silva says it. He says it really, a really fun way. Jose Silva, he says, you're sending an email to the universe. You're sending an email with specific commands to the universe. And the universe is receiving that email. And what does the universe always say back? What does the universe always say back? Yes, that's right, Caroline. The universe always says yes back. Always. You say, oh, it's not going to happen. I'm not good enough. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, is this going to happen? I don't know. I'm scared. Yes, yes, yes. The universe is one big yes. It loves, it's pure love. It's not only love, it's unconditional love. So it's constantly validating, it's constantly accepting. It's one big yes. That is the universe. So when you get that email out into the universe, when you send that email, you're sending commands, you're commanding. This is Yogananda's words. You're commanding your reality. You're not begging, you're not pleading, you're not, saying, please let this happen, please, I need you right now, please. No, you're commanding it. You're commanding your reality. And that's Yogananda. You're commanding it just like a 5-year-old commands something. How does a 5-year-old command something? Is a 5-year-old like, oh, I don't know if how does a 5-year-old command it? Type it in the chat. We must allow it. Yes, yes, we must allow it. Exactly. Yes, you can say it is like a whole brain state, Claudia. Yes, because that's why they call it the sweeping wave, because it's a whole brain state. Yes. Yes, exactly. I want, gimme. That's the perfect sentence there. That's the perfect sentence, Caroline. I want, gimme, gimme, I want, gimme. A 5-year-old child isn't like, oh, am I worthy? Is it going to show up? No, the child's like, I want, give it to me. I want it, give it to me. That's how you must command your reality. That energy is how you must command your reality. There's zero victim mentality in a 5-year-old kid who wants something. I want it now. Yes, Heather, that's it. I want it now. Exactly. I want it now. So when you're sitting there, and there's infinite ways to do this. You don't have to be sitting. You can be doing a walking meditation. You can be doing it while you're doing the dishes. You can be doing it. You can do it anywhere and everywhere. But let's keep it foundational and basic for the purposes of this masterclass. And if you want to refine this and master this, join me in meditation bootcamp. So if you're looking to really refine, to master, meditation bootcamp is where you need to be. Pre-sale is open. Message me after this if you would like to join us. It's a 3-week experience. It's $555 on pre-sale, and the price will go up. But right now it's $555 because it's pre-sale. So when you're sitting there and you're doing your meditation and you're in ecstasy, you're in bliss. Now, somebody had a great comment here. I can't get there. It's hard for me to get there. That's where the work comes in. That's where things like nervous system regulation comes in, expanding the nervous system, getting contraction out of the nervous system, unblocking the energy centers. That's where these practices come in, because your nervous system. So if I've been practicing depression 33 years, which is what I practiced, depression, hopelessness, but just like like that was the tone of my life. We go into tones in a lot of my different higher level containers, because tone, frequency equals reality. That was the tone of my life. It was like, like, I practiced that for 33 years. When I discovered this work, that's when it all started changing. So my body was very much conditioned to that way of being. So all of a sudden I start learning about this work and I want to feel ecstasy. I want to have this brain and heart orgasm. I want to like bend reality. And I've been practicing a completely different feeling my entire life. So my nervous system needed time, practice, and refinement on going into expansion, releasing contraction and going deeper into expansion, releasing stored, trapped energy from the body, from the past. So my energy centers started to unblock. My energy center started to flow properly. My nervous system naturally, as a byproduct to me doing the work, started to expand. I could receive more love. I could receive more ecstasy. I could receive more bliss. I could receive more joy. I could receive more orgasm naturally as a byproduct to me doing the work. So if it's hard to get there, use that as a trigger to go deeper into the work. If it's hard to sustain it, use that as a trigger to go deeper into the work. If it's hard to get to a higher level of ecstasy, bliss, use that as a trigger to go deeper into the work. And what's going to happen is, by you refining, mastering, practicing, staying consistent, persistent, sincere, having the time of your life doing it all, you're going to naturally fall into gratitude. You're going to naturally fall into bliss. You're going to naturally, instead of having an anxiety attack, you're going to have a gratitude attack. You're going to have a love attack. You're going to have an ecstasy attack, because the body gets programmed to what we practice the most. The body gets programmed to what we practice the most. Whether that's through thinking, you're practicing thinking a certain set of thoughts. Whether that's through feeling, you're practicing feeling a certain set of feelings. Whether that's through action, habits, behaviors, you're practicing a certain action, habit, behavior. So the body is conditioned. The body becomes conditioned. And the interesting thing about the body is what's creating over 95% of your reality. It has nothing to do with the conscious mind. Yes, we can come up with an intention. Yes, we are 5% conscious. Yes. But what's really creating reality is the body. It is the body. So this is why things like nervous system regulation, body work, presence practice, breath, meditation, this is why the work, one reason why it's so important and why you've got to constantly stretch and challenge yourself and have the time of your life while doing it. So we're stretching, we're challenging, just like the gym, just like the gym. If I say, okay, we're going to do 6 pounds today, and the day before you did 3 pounds, and you believe in yourself and you're committed and you're dedicated and you're all in, you're going to be excited by that challenge. You're going to say, okay, yeah, 6 pounds, let's go. You're going to be excited by that challenge. Now, is it going to be some work? Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to require attention? Is it going to require awareness? Are you going to have to use your breath and move through, and are thoughts going to come up and limiting beliefs? And absolutely, absolutely. And this is your trigger to go deeper into the work. So Heather says anxiety and gratitude are in the same area of the brain. Same area of the brain. If you start to go through everything you are grateful for, the brain can't focus on anxiety. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Heather. I love it. So how long does it take to reset? That's a great question. I used to give people, I used to say 3 months. That's what I used to say. I used to say 3 months. If you're consistent, if you're persistent, if you do all the things, you show up, 3 months. I don't say that anymore because I've seen people do things in weeks, days. So it's really up to you. And again, it goes back to belief in yourself. I can show you that whatever your mind believes in intensely will instantly come to manifest. That's Yogananda. That's Yogananda's quote. So if you believe it, if I believed intensely, that's the key word, intensely. If I believed intensely that I'm healed, I'm looking good. Like I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. My clothes look good. I'm rocking it. I've got all this energy, and I would bring this to your meditation. Do this in your meditation. That's it. I'm in that gamma brainwave. I'm connected. I'm everything, everywhere, all at once. Well, when you come back from that meditation, your body's going to be changed. Your body's going to be changed. You're going to be different. And I've had lots of, I want to say maybe eight spontaneous healings in my Facebook meditation group. I have a great story of a client. She had a tumor. She actually had scans and pictures of the tumor. We did a healing session on her. She went back to her doctor and the tumor was gone. There's a really great, there's so many books on this. There's so many, you can Google spontaneous healings. There's so many stories out there, so many testimonies. Just Google it, spontaneous healings. And there's more and more and more popping up every day. More and more and more popping up every day because the frequency of the planet is raising. The heartbeat, the Schumann resonance is doing some phenomenal things right now. So we're raising, we're ascending literally on planet Earth. So it's really the perfect time to be here on Earth. And it's the perfect time to master this because of the frequency, the Schumann resonance, the solar flares, everything. It's all synchronistic. Is there a lot of chaos? Yes. I love how Dr. Stephen Greer shared this. He shared right before water boils, there's a lot of chaos in that water. All the atoms are bouncing off of each other. They're all going crazy right before it gets to a boiling point. And once the water starts to boil, there's coherence. There's coherence. Steam. There's steam. It changes into steam. He explained it really well. I don't think I'm explaining it as well as him, but he did a phenomenal job explaining this. Dr. Stephen Greer. The same thing is happening on planet Earth right now. The same thing is happening on planet Earth right now. Choose who you want to be. What do you want to experience? Why did I come here? Choose to go all in. Choose to master this, refine this. Yes, let's create our own miracles. That's right. That's right. That is it. Yes. I sure felt no pain after yesterday's session. I have dislocations and an autoimmune disease. Woohoo! Congratulations, Heather. Thank you for sharing, Heather. That's phenomenal. Thank you for sharing. Yes, because our limiting beliefs hold us. So if you ask someone how long it takes for them and they have a date, that's their date. Yes, that's it. It's all a belief. It's all in the mind. All right. Elisa says, retreat into Loom. Yes, that's right. Retreat into Loom. Yeah, it's all consciousness is all mind, right? So my computer is consciousness, it's mind. My door, everything is consciousness, everything is mind. So when we learn, when we practice, when we refine, when we master how we use our imagination, how we use our mind, combined with how we feel, the feeling is the secret. The feeling is the secret. The feeling is the secret, Neville Goddard. That's when the miraculous, mind-blowing, anything is possible. That's when things get super juicy, super exciting. So let's just sum it all up. There's two things here: crystal clear intention, elevated emotion. Science has proved that that is what changes matter. That is what bends matter. When the healers combined the clear intention with the elevated emotion, the DNA unwound by up to 20%. It was 20%. Now, something interesting, when they kept doing it, it diminished a little bit how much the DNA would unwind. It actually went down. So it wasn't 20%. It was less each time they did it. And I want to share that with you because, and this is why I don't like putting timelines on things, or where the healer, I don't know, like where the healers, what was the state of the healers? What is that like a just a part of the phenomena? Is that true in every case? Does that happen all the time? I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that if you stay consistent, if you stay persistent, if you stay sincere, if you get more vulnerable with yourself, if you really refine and master the practices, even if it took you a year, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it to completely unwind that DNA, to completely heal the body, to completely become the millionaire version of you, to have the purpose work where you're giving your gift to the world and it feels fun, it feels light, you're doing your programs that you've downloaded, that you've received, you're sharing those, and you're creating community, you're building, having the time of your life, traveling, you're in bed with your specific person and you guys are kissing and you guys are touching each other and feeling each other and you get those shivers down your spine because it's so delicious and it's so yummy and it's so good. Would it be worth it? Type it in the chat. 100%. 100%. Exactly. Exactly. So Meditation Bootcamp is open. The pre-sale is live. It's 555. It's 3 weeks, and we're going to go into altered states of consciousness. So I have specific exercises that we do where you will know that you're in alpha. You'll know that you're in theta. You'll know that you're in gamma. You'll know that you're in certain brainwaves. We will also be working with the nervous system. We'll be activating the pineal gland. We'll be raising the energy from the first energy center. We'll be experiencing brain and heart orgasms. I'll teach you how to do that. We'll walk you through it. It's a practice. It's just a practice. That's it. Anybody can learn it, just like riding a bike, just like driving a car. And we're going to get really good at using our imagination, at using our holding a vision without bouncing around, without jumping around. You're holding the vision and then all of a sudden you're thinking about breakfast. We're going to clear all that up. We're going to clear all that up. We're going to get really good at this. If this resonates with you, if you want to go deeper, if this calls to you, join Meditation Bootcamp. Pre-sale is open. Send me a message after this or go to my bio and you can click the link in the bio. The pre-sale will be good for a few days and then it will increase after that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Leah says life-changing. Let's go. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Oh, Heather says, thank you for this. Beautiful. Love your Instagram posts. To your success. Much love. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for being here. Kimberly says, thank you. Love your pure-hearted soul. Thank you, Kimberly. All right. So what's your homework? What's your stretch? What's your challenge? Go do the practice that we discussed in this workshop. Post what shows up. Post what shows up and sign up for Meditation Bootcamp. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for showing up. Bye.